Hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for watching. This is a look ahead of what could be coming this week. We'll also touch on a few things that happened this past week. And thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you would. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. And if you are a subscriber, I hope you've hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're on. We're going to be on. I've got an episode coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk about being prepared for things again. We're going to reiterate because, well, it's necessary. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about some spiritual things, some biblical things. So that'll be a recorded episode. And then Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we will be live. And so I will probably have a few guests on with me. I don't know if we'll have a live panel or not, but we'll have some guests on for sure coming up on Tuesday. That'll be live. Again, hit that like on this. And if you learn something throughout the process of this, hit the like button if you would. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Okay, here we go. What could be coming this week? You know that we monitor sunspots. You know that we monitor earthquakes and volcanoes, and we monitor all kinds of things. And if something potentially is coming, we let you know about it. If there is something that has happened and I'm aware of it, I do a quick live. So again, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe if you would. Doesn't cost you anything. What you're looking at is the sun. And the areas right here, here, and here, which are shown over here magnetically, they are all going to be facing Earth this week. And this is one of, if not the most active areas on the sun. And actually, when this area was just behind view, it let out an incredibly big CME, coronal mass ejection. And we're keeping an eye on that through this week. Why does this matter? The last time this was facing us was February of last year. And February 2020, a major eruption happened, and it took out, I think it was 19 or 20. It took out a whole link of the Starlink, the Elon Musk Starlink satellites. It took them out and actually made them crash back to Earth, if you'll remember. So just keep an eye on the channel. And if something is coming, we'll let you know about it. And the best thing to do is try to protect your electronics. If something is coming, make sure they're unplugged in case there's some kind of surge in the system. And you may need to unplug everything else coming up this week. And we'll get to that coming up here in just a second. As I said, earthquakes, we monitor those. And there was an earthquake in Georgia this past week, a 4.0, just above 4.0 magnitude earthquake in Georgia. There had been one in South Carolina not long ago. Georgia, don't be surprised if something's rumbling. Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Indianapolis, St. Louis, somewhere in this area. There is a fault line here. And generally, when there is one, it will follow the fault line. It's just something to think about as we move along this coming week. And since I said Memphis, we are definitely, I'm talking speculatively, there could be an earthquake, but definitely we are going to be in a heat wave. And I'm using Memphis because as you see from the map, it's kind of well, right down here. It's kind of, in the center of things. We could use St. Louis, Indy, Chicago. But anyway, it was 99 today at the time I brought this up. Monday, the high is going to be 97, 99 on Tuesday, 101 on Wednesday, 98, 99, 101, 99. These are temperatures without humidity, okay? Like I said, I could have used St. Louis, Indianapolis, Louisville, Chicago, anywhere in the Midwest. And the farther west and south you get, the worse it's going to be. Triple digits everywhere as far as heat indexes. So make sure you're prepared for that. And it might mean that most of your activity is done in the morning and dusk, and you try not to be outside. It's going to be oppressive, and it's going to be potentially deadly this coming week. It's going to cause blackouts and brownouts. We've already saw the first of what I predict will be several. It was not a prediction. The government has told us be prepared for blackouts throughout the summer, and we're not even at the summer officially just yet. What's the difference between a blackout and a brownout? Well, a blackout is a complete interruption of power in a given service area. Cincinnati and Columbus were both blacked out at certain points last week. First thing that happened were storms came through and knocked some power out in both Cincinnati and in Columbus, but different areas of Cincinnati and Columbus had blackouts where power was off for a 3-day period in order to maintain the system, in order for the power grid to be able to be active. And our power grid is incredibly vulnerable. We have not updated it. It's incredibly vulnerable. And that includes nuclear reactors. If you live near a nuclear reactor, chances are you're not going to get an intentional power blackout, because those nuclear reactors really require a lot of electricity in order to keep things cool and keep the fuel rods, the spent fuel rods, keep everything cool. And without electricity, think of Chernobyl times 1,000. Okay. So if you live near a nuclear power plant, chances are you're not going to have a blackout. Just a little bit of logic there. Now, if the whole grid goes down and you live near a nuclear power plant, get away as quick as you can. 30 days, they've got big generators at these sites, but they've only got 30 days worth of fuel to run those generators. And after that, things get ugly really fast if you're near a nuclear power plant. And I'm not saying anything that, I'm not giving away national secrets or anything. I'm just passing along some knowledge. Now, rolling blackouts are controlled and usually pre-planned interruptions of service. Will they let us know ahead of time? We hope so. Chances are things are just going to go dark and you'll find out after the fact, yeah, that was a blackout because the power grid. Now, a brownout is a partial temporary reduction in system voltage or total system capacity. That means the electricity is going to fluctuate and it's going to come across it. You really have to unplug all your essentials if you're in a brownout, because of power surges and damaging to your equipment. So if you get word a brownout's happening, unplug all your essentials, your computers, your phone, everything that can potentially be impacted by a power surge. Just something to think about as we head into the week. reading is fundamental. We have been, we've been drawing viewers away from mainstream news, and they don't particularly like that. So there are things that we aren't supposed to be talking about that are now no longer part of community standards here on YouTube. So, we're going to try not to talk about those things. And there's some people in the United States, we know of 2, and my intelligence is saying there are possibly 3 more. That's unconfirmed by anything that I can share at the moment, but nonetheless, this is not going to end up being a good situation between the country of the eagle and the country of the bear. Okay, you add to that our valued and our friend, our contributor, our frequent guest. Nobody's been on the program more than Chris. Chris has made more appearances than anybody else, and probably more than the next 2 put together. That's how valuable his information is. And he let us know about this. Rush, you can see the bear and what they've done and where and who against. And this is a look at the country of Syria, and as it is kind of laid out at the moment. And one thing missing from this is something called ISIL. And there are areas that I imagine are under their control. These areas, these are the oil fields and the gas fields. These are why the United States is pretty much anywhere, including, as we talked about again, from Chris let us know about Mali and Mogadishu, and it's all about oil. It's all about natural resources. Always is, has been, always will be. But you look at this and you see the Golan Heights down here, Israeli occupied. This is the area of what is called U.S. occupation right here. And this activity was carried out in this area, okay? I want to get to this before. It was today's Juneteenth, and as this has been recorded, it may not get aired until it's officially the 20th. But happy Juneteenth to everybody. It's a national holiday, and it's a day that should be celebrated as our country moving a little bit towards its full potential. But that's not how it's viewed, unfortunately, by too many people. And I just want to point out that our friend Maxwell Mitchell, and we've shown a lot of Maxwell's videos. You can see one of the videos going on right here now, as well as some still pictures. Go to Maxwell's page, Maxwell Mitchell, right here on Facebook, and you'll be able to see what was happening in Louisville. Great celebration in Louisville today. Also, our friend Corey Elijah, who we just used a lot of his work in Kenosha, and they had an incredible celebration up there today as well. You can check that out on Facebook, and I highly recommend you go watch these guys. Give them likes, give them shares, follow them, and support what they're trying to do. And finally, former guest of the show, Ford Fisher, was in Natchez, Mississippi today. I was contacted last week and by somebody and said that they were going to be in Mississippi this weekend for a Second Amendment unity event, and not to say anything about it till after it was over. And so we didn't. But according to this is Ford's definition, black self-defense groups hold, quote, gathering of the great army's formation, Second Amendment march in Natchez, Mississippi. And this is close to, if not the same groups that gathered a year ago in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Natchez, Mississippi was the site of a massacre, okay, of indigenous people. And so that's why they are in Natchez. I believe it's over 20,000 people that were indigenous people that were massacred in Mississippi. And they're drawing attention to that often forgotten fact, and they are exercising their Second Amendment rights. As anyone who is a Second Amendment advocate, you ought to support everybody. You know, it's not just Second Amendment aren't just for white Trump Christians, okay? As much as you would like it to be, some of you would like it to be, it applies to everybody in our country, okay? And Ford Fisher, news to share. If you want to see the entire video, he's got two or three maybe videos of this weekend. And this is
in this door, it gave me flashbacks of when this whole pandemic first started. This is
Tommy Bites Homestead. This is the first time I've used Tommy Bites Homestead to see the entire video. And she is in North Carolina. And this is just, she's in a Dollar General store. And this was filmed yesterday on Saturday. So I don't know if they haven't stocked, if they're not getting supplies, but a lot of empty aisles. And we've been telling you this was going to be coming. We've been talking about this for a long time. You're not going to see totally empty shelves, stores just completely empty. You're going to see things gradually not available. And you can get a decent idea. And it continues with, you know, shelf after shelf and runs for quite some time. Again, you can see the whole thing at Tommy Bites Homestead. I went out today, and a couple of things. First of all, talking about the heat earlier. Let me pause this here. Talking about the heat earlier. I went out earlier and walked Doofus dog. We try to walk at least once a day. And we try to walk during a time period when it's not excruciatingly hot. And we were out in the heat of the day. We were out around 4 p.m. And of course, the pavement, the asphalt on the trail that we walk gets really hot. And, you know, so we try to get in the grass as much as we can, you know, so it doesn't hurt her paws. And she and I were walking. And I noticed the grass is already crunchy. And if you walk in grass, and you know what I'm talking about, you crunch, crunch, crunch. It's already drying out. And things are going to dry out quite a bit with the week ahead if you don't get rain in your area. And even if you do, it may not be enough. Now, let's get back to the shortages here. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember if she goes to another store or not. She doesn't. She just keeps talking. Okay. Go and catch her whole video. Tommy Bites Homestead. And she's, you know, there are many that are showing food shortages. Now, there are some places that are showing food stacked to the rafters. Okay. The difference being, this is a Dollar General store that we're seeing here. Walmart, the bigger chain stores, they're going to buy up ahead of time everything they possibly can so that they are the last ones with anything to sell, because at that time it's going to be at the highest prices. Okay. First places you're going to see running out of stuff are going to be Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, those kind of stores. Okay. Aldi's, you know, those places are going to be the ones where you're going to notice not a lot on the shelves. You're going to notice those first because that's where the poor people are forced to shop in many situations. Something to think about. Walmart, if you see Walmart stocked to the gills, that's because their distribution has pre-stocked, to where some of these others, they're not set up for that. And even if they are set up for that, they're not going to be able to get the limited supply of stuff that's going to be available the longer we go and the more the supply chain breaks down. It's just, you know, it's just something to think about. That's how it is. We talked about this the other day in the last episode, cotton products, where the places where cotton is normally grown, they've either had floods or they've had droughts. And China and the United States are the two of the major, if not the top two cotton producers, and we're not producing cotton. That's going to mean a cotton shortage, along with everything else we've been talking about, with China closing Smithfield pork plant in California, with the cows mysteriously dying. I'm going to say, you know, we need to look at water, because it would be real easy to contaminate a water supply. And was this a test run to see what happens when we do it to humans? I don't know. The monkeypox thing, well, it's on my head. You know, they've got us conditioned. Half the country thinks, you know, you got to have a vaccine in order to be safe. The other half of the country thinks there's no way I'm getting a vaccine for anything. Well, this monkeypox thing, consider it a mutant. All right. Don't look at it as this is, we know what monkeypox is. I don't think so. I think this monkeypox is a synthetic monkeypox that is going to continue to evolve now that it's been unleashed. Why do I think that? Russia has a history of poisoning people that speak out against Putin. And a lot of those poisonings take place in London. Where did this monkeypox outbreak first originate? London. The people had no contact with anybody in West Africa, which is normally where monkeypox comes from. This one comes from London and spreads and spreads and spreads. Just something to think about, you know, just something to think about. As I said, I was out today. I went to the Family Dollar store, the dollar store. I don't have any footage. Family Dollar store, the dollar store, and to Kroger. Kroger is the major supermarket in the area I'm at. They're based in Cincinnati, Ohio. And of course, the closer you are to where the company's based and distribution, central distribution comes from, the more chance your area is going to be stocked better than those farther outlying. That's just because transportation costs are going to get to the point where we're going to stock our closer stores and sacrifice those that we have to transport to. It's just going to be, you know, it's just going to keep tumbling. These one domino falls and it's going to hit this domino, and they're just going to keep tumbling. There were very few feminine hygiene products. That's one of the things I was looking for. Somebody, a friend of mine, their daughter can't find any where they're at. So I got the last two in this town, last two specific of this specific type, the last two boxes in this town. And there were no pain relievers, Tylenol, Advil. Those have been pulled. Supposedly there's a recall because of the child protective cap issue, but there were no signs that said, you know, recall or anything like that. The shelves were just empty. There was some generic stuff, but the name brand, the Advil, the Tylenol, they've been taken off, and all that plastic that's involved in all that packaging all comes from the dragon country. There were limited, what else was limited? I can't think right off the top of my head the other things that, what it was at the Kroger I was at, to make the shelves, you know, the shelves looked full in some areas, but they were only one deep, okay? They had like a whole row of cans, so it made it look like the whole shelf was full, but actually those cans were the only thing, you know, there weren't any cans behind them. So is this, it's yet another warning that things can really turn quickly, because as more things run out, more people are going to wake up, and the more prices are going to go up because demand is going to increase and keep increasing and keep increasing as supply keeps going down and down and down and down. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, you know, this is just a minor glitch and everything gets worked out and we get back to normal. But prepare just in case. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to do this tomorrow night. Or tomorrow's episode, we're going to talk about preparing and spiritually, make sure that, you know, you address that in your preparedness. And one other thing we're going to talk about tomorrow night, the 12 tribes of Israel. I've been listening to lectures on various things, and this is one we're going to talk about a little bit tomorrow night. So once again, happy Juneteenth. I believe OC the Great was hosting a live fundraiser for Othel Wallace tonight. So check out OC the Great's channel to see if he's still doing that, or to donate. I'm sure that you'll be able to donate even if it's not continuing live at the moment. And with all that being said, we will be back tomorrow talking about preparedness and the spiritual aspect of it. And we remind you once again, make sure you got enough stuff to take care of yourself no matter what happens. Power goes out. We get attacked, cyber attack, an actual nuclear attack. Food's going to be running out, it sure looks like. And it's better to be prepared now than to try to prepare when it's too late. So again, thank you all for watching. I love y'all, you know that. Those that have watched for a long time, Thank you sincerely. And those that have hit the Cash App, God bless you sincerely. We will be doing this again tomorrow, recorded, and then Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we will be doing it live. And hopefully you'll join us tomorrow, and you'll join us on Tuesday as well. And I thank you for watching this sincerely. I love you all. Namaste. Shalom. Salam. Blessings upon each and every one of you. I love you all. And thanks for watching.